Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's Microsoft Excel VBA video, we are going to explore more and more about the user forms. So in today's video, we are going to actually discuss about an important control of the user form, and that control is known as the command button. So a simple definition of a command button or a simple term is a button. Whenever you are filling a form, then you can see there is a button, and that button is known as command button in Visual Basic Language. So let's see that how can we add a button and what are its uses through an example. So first of all, we have Excel in front of our screen. Let's bring up the VBA editor. So for the shortcut, it's Alt F11. So if you press the shortcut Alt F11, then VBA editor would be there. Otherwise, you can just go to the developer tab, and there is this Visual Basic thing. When you click on this, the VBA editor would be up and running. Okay. Now what happens is we have got this form which we just created in the previous video, in which we made some changes for the appearance of the form. Like we changed its caption, its background color, and its height and width. Okay. So in today's video, we are going to see that how can we add a command button or a simple button to a form and what is its uses. Okay. So first of all, as we know that button is a tool. So for adding the button, we need to have access to the toolbox. So how can you have an access to the toolbox? So for that purpose, what you can do is go to this view tab, and when you go to this view tab, this is the third tab from the left, there is this option of toolbox. If you just click on it, then you can see this toolbox is visible to you. Okay. So this is the toolbox, and it is dockable, which means you can just navigate it to any place that you want, and it has got the bunch of controls that you can add into a form. All of these controls could be added to a form. So when you hover over these, you will get the tooltip in the form of the name of these controls. So here we have got this command button. In order to add the command button to your form, there are two methods. First is you can just simply double click on this command button, and then you can just drag it over here. So this command button is added. Okay, or you can simply bring it and drag it like this, and this command button could be added. So these are the two methods, and both the command buttons are same. I have deleted the second command button, and this is our first command button which we have added. And through any of these methods, you can add the command button, because both of the things are same, both of the methods are same. That is, both of them are going to add the same thing, that is a command button, onto your form. Now once you have added the command button, you can just resize it to any size that you want, and apart from this, you can add as many command buttons as you like command button 2, command button 3, command button 4, and so on. So all these things, command button 1, 2, 3, and 4, are actually the names of the command button through which they are going to be referred as. Okay. So let's work with this command button, that is command button 1. Now once you have added the command button, what will happen is, in the properties window, you can see that there is this drop down, and earlier we used to have only one thing, that was this user form, but now we are also having this command button 1. So from here you can just toggle between the controls, and whichever control you select from this drop down list, that control's properties would be visible over here. Okay, so suppose I want to select the user form. Let me just show you. If I select the user form, these are the properties of the user form that are available, and there are two ways through which you can view these properties, in either an alphabetic order or in the categorized form. The categorized form is more useful when you are referring to a particular category. Like we have categorized the appearance together, the behavior together, fonts, miscellaneous, etc. But I prefer the alphabetic one. It is totally up to you that whatever method you perform, you can just go with it. Okay. So right now I'm not going to talk about user form. I'm going to talk about the command button. So let's bring up the command button. And as soon as we do that, what we get is first the name. Now the by default name is command button 1, but that is too long to remember, because whenever we are trying to code anything, or whenever we are trying to do any kind of manipulations through coding of this command button, then we need to use this name. So it is advisable that we just make up a small name. So for this small name, we have got a convention in Visual Basic, and that convention is that, for example, if you are using a command button, so according to the convention, the name must be CMD BTN. That means for command button the shortcut is CMD, and for the button the shortcut is BTN, and then you gotta enter the number to memorize that or to make sure that what number that command button is having. So advisable is whatever the original name of the command button is, that number could be added. So CMD BTN1 is the name according to the convention. Of course, you can just keep any name that you want, but it is advisable to go by the convention to avoid any confusion later on. Similarly, if we are talking about the user form, its name can also be changed according to convention as FRM1. So FRM is for form, form1 is the name. So this is our command button, and there are these various properties. So let's look at them one by one. First of all is this caption, command button 1. We do not want this command button to be or this caption to be shown. We want click me to be shown. So for that purpose, we have a property with the name as caption, like we had in the user form. So let's just change it to click me, and as soon as you do that, you can see that this caption over here is changing as well. Okay. Now one more thing through which you can toggle between these different controls. If you just select on this form, then this form would be selected or its properties would be visible. But if you just click on this command button, then you can see that command button over here is selected and its properties are now visible. Then there is an option of auto size. If you just give it to false, then its size would be according to the size that you gave it to it. But if you just select it to true, then what happens is it will automatically resize itself to the size which is sufficient to accommodate the caption that is given to it. Okay. Then there is this back color option. You can change its back color from the palette or from the system itself. So I'm going with this blue kind of a color. Then there is this back style. So there are these different types of styles. Either it could be transparent or opaque. Now it is transparent, but it is advisable to have an opaque one, or whatever you want. Generally people go with opaque. Then we have cancel. If the cancel property is set to true, then what happens is, using whenever the form is running, suppose let us just run this form, then using the escape key you can just escape this form or this command button. Actually nothing is happening right now because we have not added any controls, but this is what happens when the cancel property is set to true. This is control tip text. Caption we have already seen. Control tip text is what tip would be shown when we just move our cursor towards this command button. So let's just add a tip text, and that is please click me. Okay, so that is my text. Let's just run the form and see what happens. You can see as soon as I bring my cursor over this command button, I get a tooltip, please click me. So that is what it is, the control tip text. Then there are these other options like enabled. If we set the enabled property to false, then what happens is you would not be able to click on this command button. It is not clickable, it is not enabled. So enabled property must be set to true if you want this command button to be working. Otherwise, what the use of this property is that whenever you are trying to just look at some actions, like if you want that the user must enter the data in the form before clicking the command button, so if the data in the form is nothing, or if the user has not entered anything, then you must keep the command button as false. And as soon as you make sure through coding that the user has entered some data, then you can just change the enabled button to true to make sure that the user can click on it right now. Okay, so that was about enabled. Now the next property we have is a font. If we just click on it, we have got these bunch of fonts which we can just change to anything. We can change its type, we can change its size, everything. And we can also change the color of the fonts, like in the palette itself we can go with it, or if you want you can just choose from the custom colors that were the system colors. You can change the height of the command button from here. Then there is this left option, that is how much space it is going to have from the left. Let us just change to 100, and as soon as we click here, so it moves towards here. Then we have logged. If the logged property is set to false, means the button is not logged. It is if it is set to true, the button is logged. So let's just see it. Right now the button is logged. The difference between logged and enabled is when the button was disabled, then we didn't get this tooltip as well, but the button is logged, which means it is not clickable, but it is still there. So now the tooltip is visible whenever we go over it. So that is the difference between the logged and the enabled properties of the command button. The rest of the properties are actually the general properties only, which would be we would be learning for the next control itself, because most of the properties are the general properties like the caption and so on. So yes, we would be looking at these properties in detail for the next tools, which would be covering in the next upcoming videos. So for this video, it's all that we should know about the command button. In the upcoming lessons, we would also be seeing how to handle the command button events. Thanks for watching.